You know what's the other one that I heard where somebody was spinning it back like that? Remember, they asked if I like Arsenio about as much as a bicentennial,
yep.
and they would keep spinning it back, and I was like, oh shit. Bringing that up, there was something that you brought up that I didn't know, okay, on your podcast, because while I iron, I watch your podcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. You mentioned that Steve Harvey has no love for hip hop.
None. Zero.
Okay, can you kind of like...
Okay, so, I worked at The Beat,
Right.
92.3 The Beat, doing the Soul Assassin Mix Show for 3-4 years down there. And in that time, they had, when we started, Dad, what's his name? James London, something London, and his crew doing the morning show. He decided he didn't want to be there anymore because shit was changing.
Right.
And his shit was not funny, and he was dealing with Big Boy, and they needed somebody to come compete with Big Boy. And realistically, at the time, in that market, no one was going to compete with him. But they thought bringing in Steve Harvey would be the lick because he's a comedian,
Right.
and they thought he would just bring something to the table, right?
Yeah, something different.
We knew him before he came through, obviously, because he was a famous comedian. But we also knew him because he was, overtly against hip hop. He would speak against it. Oh man, fuck that shit. That shit ain't music. It's this and that, and y'all don't know how to talk to women, and y'all be disrespecting the women and all this violent shit. Like, just keying in on all the negatives and not the positives. Like that there's groups like Public Enemy and KRS-One, Queen Latifah, and all these other rappers that are, pumping positivity, not just gangster shit, right? He don't key in on none of that. He's just keying in on the gangster shit, right? So just a negative outlook on hip hop, and whenever he spoke about it, it was always negative. So here The Beat is bringing Steve Harvey in The Beat along with Power 106, who are competing against each other on where is the home of hip hop, right? Power 106 would their tagline with Power 106, the home of hip hop, or some shit like this, right? And 92.3's The Beat's tag would be 92.3 The Beat, no color lines, where hip hop lives. That type of shit, right? And so here they bring in this dude who is totally anti-hip hop.
Wow.
And we were like, man, this shit contradicts what this station is
doing,
about, where hip hop lives. This is where hip hop lives, and you got a guy that is shitting on hip hop every fucking chance he gets, right? And he still does it to this day. Whenever he gets a chance, he will dog hip hop like, oh man, that's some bullshit. It's non-original. They don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to be like men, and this and all this other shit. And it's like, you're making money off this station that's based off of Latinos and black folks that love hip hop, that they don't listen to it for the R&B, motherfucker. Don't get twisted. Because Theo and Julio G and those guys that were in the prime positions could tell you they were not listening for R&B. They were in there for the fucking hip hop shit.
Right.
And here they hired this fucking clown, right? And so, we went with it. We what could we do? We didn't have any power to say, hey man, fucking don't hire this guy.
Yeah.
They hired him, and they quickly found out that that was a bad hire because he was alienating the fucking, fan base that was there to listen to him, talking shit on hip hop. Well, all the people that are listening to you are hip hop fans, and now they're not listening to you. They're going over to Big Boy because he is, someone who raises up hip hop and lifts up hip hop, and he's not dogging it, and he's rolling with. And it was horrible. So we were talking about Steve Harvey because he had just done something recently and went out of his way to make it about him, and then dogging hip hop in some shit that was like in a hip hop arena. No, it was the verses between that just happened with who was it? The Isley brothers and someone else, right? He went out of his way to dog hip hop. You see, hip hop ain't got this type of swag and blah blah blah. You ain't gonna see fly songs like this on some hip hop, man. you know, constantly shitting on our genre, man. So for me, I'm always like, fuck that dude. He ain't even that funny.
I mean, here he is talking about something that saved our lives.
Yeah, exactly, okay? So he's shitting on something that saved a lot of black and brown lives.
Yes.
And that should be something that he celebrates, because you're a part of that in some indirect way, because motherfuckers always tie music and comedy and sports and all this other shit together. It's all sort of like melded, because a lot of comedians are fucking hip hop fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and they come from those neighborhoods where hip hop was birthed.
Right.
They were also a part of it in an indirect way. And here this dude is shitting on the genre that saved a lot of us, man. So a lot of us are looking at him like, you know what, fuck you and the goddamn horse you rode in on. You ain't even that funny. You know, and the fact that, you know, he's botched a couple of important moments, we celebrated that. You know, like when he fucking came in with the wrong Miss America and
that dumbass.
And a bunch of other shit, man. Fuck that dude. You know?
Hypothetical scenario. You get a phone call. What the fuck is this? Yo, what up, B? This is Steve Harvey. I'm trying to come out on Dr. Green Thumb because I heard you talking about me.
I would do it.
You would do it?
I'd have his ass on. And then, like, let's just have a fucking conversation.
Right.
And I know, hey, listen, it's hard to cut with comedians. This is what they do. They cut. But rappers cut too.
Right.
You know, and this ain't about a comedy bit. This is a conversation. So as witty as you think you are, so are we.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we come from the same place you come from, buddy. As I would venture to say, some of us come from harder places than that dude's ever seen.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got a story, right?
Of course.
We all have a story, and some of our stories are worse than others.
Yeah.
And I would dare him to come in some of the places that some of us grew up in.
Right.
As hard as you say you had it.
Right. What is he doing now? Family Feud or some bullshit like that?
Doing Family Feud, so he got it real nice right now. He ain't known a hard life in years. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I'm going to say about him that I can't stand is fucking smile. But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I respect what he's done as a comedian. You know what I mean? Because that takes a grind. That takes work. It takes the hours. You know what I'm saying?
It's a scratch.
Oh, shit.
See, that's what we mean today. This generation doesn't know when we say, you sound like a broken record.
There it is. And Steve Harvey sounds like a broken record. Because he's still harping on that old bullshit. It's like, find something new to talk about, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if he were to come on my show, I would directly ask him, what is your fucking problem with hip-hop? I don't got a problem with your whack-ass comedy. I don't go out of my way to dog it. Like, what's your problem with hip-hop?
Right.
You know, look, here's the thing. Michael Jordan didn't like hip-hop. He hated the shit.
Uh-huh.
Hated it for all those who wear his shoes. I got some on right now. But the motherfucker hated hip-hop.
Me too. I got some on too.
We all praised him because
his
abilities on the court.
Yeah.
We didn't give a fuck if he liked us or not. Right? It's sort of the same fucking principle, you know. You could love him for his ability, but you don't have to love him as a person and his views. So I respect Steve Harvey and what he's been able to accomplish as a man getting behind his craft. But his views can suck my dick. On hip-hop.
Right. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to play one more break record.